All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are opening the pages of one of the most profoundly influential texts in human history, the Bhagavad Gita. But listen, we're not just dusting off some ancient manuscript here. Think of this opening verse like the very first panel of an incredibly epic, high-stakes psychological shonen manga arc. It is literally the dramatic prologue to a colossal clash. We've got it all. Larger-than-life characters, intense family drama, a blind king, a clairvoyant narrator, and two massive armies just staring each other down on a sacred battlefield. And the whole thing kicks off with a single, highly charged question that basically sets the stage for everything that follows.
Okay, let's just drop right into the middle of this high-stakes tension with this ancient, gripping cliffhanger. Desiring to fight, what did they do? This isn't one of those slow, meandering introductions that takes 5 chapters just to build up the lore. No, the text throws us instantly into the action. The weapons are drawn, the factions are assembled, and the anticipation is absolutely electric. So, to really understand how we got to this powder keg moment, we need to meet our cast of characters.
Section 1. The Blind King's Question.
It's exactly like looking at a manga's character select screen. On one side, we have King Dhritarashtra. He's a powerful monarch, right? But he's rolling with a massive debuff, a tragic, literal blindness that actually perfectly mirrors his deep, spiritual blindness. He's sitting way far away from the action, just desperate to know what's happening and entirely reliant on someone else's perspective. And then, on the other side, we have his advisor, Sanjaya. Now, Sanjaya has essentially been granted the ultimate power-up, divine clairvoyance. This vision lets him see literally every detail of the battlefield from miles and miles away. It makes him the absolute perfect narrator for this epic showdown.
Moving on to Section 2, Decoding the Sacred Verse.
So the verse goes, Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after gathering on the holy field of Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did my sons and the sons of Pandu do? I mean, you can practically feel the heavy silence right before that first arrow is fired, can't you? The king is demanding to know the opening moves of a war that will literally shake the earth. It is the ultimate spark hovering right over the powder keg.
To truly grasp the energy here, let's kind of open up the stats menu and unpack these dense Sanskrit action verbs into their gripping English equivalents. First up, we have samaveta, which means they are gathered together. The pieces are completely set on the board. There's no turning back now. And second, we have yuyutsava, desiring to fight. The adrenaline status effect is completely maxed out here. These aren't just reluctant conscripts forced to the front lines. Oh no, both sides are absolutely primed and hungry for combat.
Section 3. The Factions Gather.
This brilliantly illustrates the literal division of the family into 2 fiercely opposing factions. On one hand, we have Mamakaha, which is the king's side, literally translating to my sons. And squaring up against them are the Pandava, the sons of Pandu, who are the cousins and the rival faction. Choosing your faction here isn't just about picking a political banner, right? It is engaging in the ultimate tragic family feud, but magnified to an apocalyptic scale. The tension here is incredibly personal.
Which brings us to Section 4, the flaw of mine. Truly great character writing always hides deep psychological nuance inside the dialogue, and the Blind King's phrasing is packed with a devastating secret. By saying my sons versus the sons of Pandu, the king actually reveals the tragic flaw of ego and attachment that triggered this entire catastrophic war in the first place. Honestly, this is his villain origin story. Instead of looking out at the battlefield and seeing one unified, tragic family about to destroy itself, his spiritual blindness forces him to draw a hard line in the sand. Us versus them. I mean, how often do we do exactly that in our own lives? This ego-driven attachment, that is the true overarching villain of the story.
Section 5. The Ultimate Arena.
So, with our characters and their deep-seated flaws established, let's enter the stage select phase of our narrative. We start at Kurukshetra, which serves as the physical, geographical arena where the armies have gathered. And this is a real, historical place in the world. It's the literal dirt and mud where chariots will roll and warriors will clash.
But then, the verse hits us with a massive psychological twist. It redefines the location as Dharma Kshetra, the field of righteousness, or sacred land. This completely shifts the arena from a grounded historical battlefield directly into the ethereal psychological domain of the human mind. The text is basically telling us that while the swords and shields might be real, the true battleground is an allegory for our own inner consciousness. Because of this allegorical arena, the Gita represents the eternal conflict raging within you and me. The Pandavas represent the forces of good, facing off against the Kauravas, which are our own ego, attachment, and ignorance. It is exactly like a manga protagonist fighting their own inner shadow selves to unlock their true potential. This epic war is the daily, visceral struggle we all face inside our own minds, between doing what is right and giving in to our selfish attachments.
And that brings us right back to the ultimate cliffhanger. Kim Akarvada, what did they do? The forces of good and the forces of ego are staring each other down on the sacred battlefield of the mind. The stage is set, the debuffs and power-ups are locked in. When the tension reaches its breaking point, how will the battle raging within your own mind unfold? Ultimately, what will you do?